At exactly 3:17 a.m., the phone rang, and this time it sounded like a countdown. Dev Anand had built a career in the dark. His late-night radio show drifted through sleeping apartments and empty highways, his voice a steady, warm, and anonymous comfort. Strangers would call in, confessing secrets they wouldn't dare tell the sun. He offered advice like bandages temporary, but just enough to get them through. Then caller 42 began dialing in. She never gave a name. Her voice was disturbingly calm, almost rehearsed. Hypothetically, she'd start, if someone didn't plan to be here next week, what should they do with their last few days? Dev leaned closer to the mic. He'd heard plenty of heartbreak before, but this was different. This wasn't a cry for help. It was a farewell. Night after night, at precisely 3:17 a.m., she'd call. Her stories grew heavier, laced with regret and a crushing sense of isolation. Then she shared a childhood memory about a man on the radio, who once stayed on the line with a frightened little girl during a storm. Dev's heart pounded in his chest. He remembered that call. It was years ago. A terrified child was hiding under a table while her parents fought violently in the other room. He had kept her talking, distracting her with stories until the sound of police sirens finally arrived. He never knew her name. On the fifth night, caller 42 whispered, "You told her she was brave." Silence filled the studio, thick and heavy. In that moment, Dev broke every rule. He started tracing the signal, ignoring station regulations, and drove through the rain-slicked streets. He was guided only by fragmented clues she dropped in her calls. A specific mural, a closed bakery, a particular rooftop view. At 3:16 a.m., he found her. She was standing on the edge of a rooftop. "Ria!" he said, his voice trembling without the microphone to steady it. She turned, and in her eyes, he saw tears, recognition, and utter exhaustion. "You answered then," she whispered. "I hoped you would again." At 3:17, as the city held its breath, Dev stepped closer. "Stay," he said. Just one voice. One word. But it was enough. The line didn't disconnect that night. Because sometimes saving a life doesn't require seeing someone face to face. It just requires never, ever hanging up. If you or someone you know is struggling, please remember there are people who want to listen. Help is available, and you are not alone. Thank you for watching.